Testing. Sennheiser MD46. Hey, I'm Erfon Elijah here with the Cultcast, looking at some piece of technology nobody cares about. Moving the microphone back and forth. Because if I don't, then you can't hear me. You know what they say about not hearing me? Not hearing me is hard.
Oh, well, work is hard.
Okay.
Hello, friends. Welcome to User Friendly, the tech show, maybe slash podcast.
Yes.
That talks about all things
Cheek-y.
our favorite stuff on the web and tech news sometimes.
And tech news today.
Yeah. I don't want to go there.
I think there's a show that's called
there
that. We retract that statement.
I'm Roberto Oyas. I'm your co-host, and I'm here with my friend
Erfon Elijah giving you the double salute. You might know me from the Cultcast podcast and my short stints on WPEX radio as Mr. Yell.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Mr. Scream was actually trademarked.
Oh.
Mr. Yell Loud.
That was cool, yeah. What happened to that gig?
Well, they just recorded me doing it once, and then they ended up firing me and just hitting a button every time they needed it.
God, that's so weird. Posers,
I
man.
only made like $50. It was a bad deal because I moved out there. Anyway.
And you had to learn that voice.
I worked for months on that voice. Anyway.
He used to sound like me, and now he sounds like that.
I sound totally different. It's a bad deal. Anyway, we should probably move on to things that are interesting.
Do you project a lot?
I think I'm just naturally too loud.
You had to think about that? Because, you know, there's like people like BJ Shea, he's a local radio show host, and he's like, I used to have a high-pitched, squeaky voice, and I had to learn how to do the radio voice. So he actually trained himself. So you have a natural gift, my friend.
Would you say I have a voice for radio?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that at all. People say I sound like a surfer.
Nah.
And I think I actually kind of do sound like a surfer. Maybe...
If me and you just sounded like me, it wouldn't be as cool.
I think you project. I do try when I'm recording, though, to not say and to not say
Do you do that well?
It's very difficult.
Even radio people do that.
I think you get into it because I heard that sound as a sound that you make when you're not sure where you're going. So you make it like a vowel sound to let people know that you're going to continue speaking.
Right.
And it's really hard to not do it if you're
it's a rhythm type of
not
thing.
prepared.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared, then you end up making that sound to kind of continue your speech.
I do that.
You know where you're going.
Yeah, I do that sometimes when I'm doing like interview type things. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, I just did it now. I do a lot of ums and likes and all. I wish I didn't, but
I think it's also kind of where we're from because we say like a lot. We say dude, which
I say you know more than I think I do.
I do too.
One time I was listening to my vlogging and I said that so much and I cut some out because I just felt like such a dumbass that I said it
I do that
much.
in Cultcast too. Sometimes when I'm editing it, I'll cut that stuff out.
The accent that bothers me is when people put like a lot of W on their O sound, like you know, like I hate that.
You know, that's such a specific dislike. You know,
Roberto.
That sounds like do you ever watch Saturday Night Live?
Sometimes.
It's the Californian sketch.
Oh, I don't
know.
How
the O's just totally blur their words together.
No, I never heard that.
Wow, that's exactly what they sound like. Ooh.
Yeah, accents, man.
Hey, how was your Christmas?
Oh, yeah. It has been a while since we saw each other.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Take your damn tree down.
That's not coming down until late March.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you.
It was good. I went to my family's.
Yeah?
Chilled out.
Me too.
I think it's always kind of good to just, you know, if you're an entrepreneur and you can just always work, it's good to just chill, decompress.
Yeah. It takes a lot of effort to do that, though.
Yeah, it does.
You feel like you should be working on something.
Yeah, whenever I talk to people or see people on YouTube, they're like, well, I'm going on vacation, but I'm really working while I'm there, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So it was fun. I just hung out at the house and just chilled.
Did you get anything good?
I stopped getting anything. I stopped asking for things long ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't really expect anything. I just go there to hang with my family, and I get like couple shirts, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Any banana hammocks?
No.
That's too bad.
I got this, though.
I could give you some.
That's
nice.
This is from Banana Republic.
Wow.
So,
fancy.
banana.
Banana Republic hammock. Banana Hammock Republic. That's the store I need to open.
But yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
That's cool. I didn't really get anything major either. I kind of feel the same way you do, or have the same philosophy. I never really expect anything from anyone. Some people get me presents. Most people don't. And I kind of feel like I stopped getting presents 22, 23. Mm-hmm. That's when all of a sudden the presents just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And your family is like, you're old enough to know that we don't really need
this
to get
costs a lot of money and stuff. I think
it's not cute anymore.
When you get older too, then you realize like, oh dang, my parents have to like spend thousands on Christmas, you know?
Yeah. Especially when you're really young and everyone's getting you presents.
Right. Yeah. So it's more just family time in my mind now, and maybe I'll give cool presents to my brother or something. You know?
Maybe like when your sister has kids.
Sure.
Like, do you think you'll get them presents? Like, what if she has 4 kids?
Probably for a little while, but yeah, it sounds expensive already.
I guess for you, though, you could just make them their gifts.
Yeah, I got it locked for a
little
while.
You got that locked. You're never going to have to spend $1, maybe on some fabric.
Yeah, well, at that point, I'm not going to be making crap.
Let's face it, I just make crap and I give it away.
I'm just going to have everyone else make it.
Well, Merry Christmas to all of you. This is our Christmas present to you.
This is the end of the show.
Since you know that, we make absolutely no money doing this, as you can tell.
Uh-huh.
As you can tell from our gear, actually, let me just put this down. As you can tell from our gear, we're totally poor students. We make no money from this.
Students.
So we thought we'd do something a little interesting to start.
Yeah.
We had a conversation before the show.
Yeah.
And Roberto was asking me, he's like, do you feel like I hate on too many things? And I very quickly answered yes and nodded enthusiastically.
And then we stopped talking.
And then that was the end of the conversation.
I said I hate you.
And I kind of felt like, maybe I kind of hate on some stuff too. And maybe we are those 2 old guys from Sesame
Muppets?
Street.
Or
the Muppets,
yeah.
We just talk crap about everything. And we kind of got into an interesting discussion where we were talking about how we are kind of critical on some stuff, and especially on our Just for Kicks segment, our new segment, Just for Kicks.
It's kind of set up to be that way.
It is. I mean, in all honesty, most Kickstarters are really kind of crappy, right? And there are a few things out there that are pretty awesome. But how in our culture today...
You guys laugh at it, so...
Yes, you guys are just as guilty as we are, jerks.
But what about our culture?
I kind of feel like in our U.S. culture that everything is awesome. And if you kind of point out how something maybe is not good, then you're kind of a jerk for being a hater, as you said.
Right.
And our kind of point was, well, what was your perspective on it?
That basically not everything is awesome. Right?
Most things.
That's one thing to
awesome.
know. And I think that even as a kid, I felt like I wanted to voice when I thought things weren't cool. And I feel like nowadays it's looked at like, way more as a negative thing to even be critical. And being critical, I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, look at Siskel and Ebert. They're critical because they have a passion for that thing.
I'm glad you used that word.
Like for example, like we have a passion for good design things.
Yeah, good music.
Yeah, and we want to voice when we think things aren't as good as they could be. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe sometimes I'm critical of other artists and other creative people. And sometimes I have to step back and go, okay, that person's maybe a lot like me. Mm-hmm. That's when I feel guilty about it.
Me too.
But I don't feel like I am just a rain cloud of negativity because I'm critical.
I don't feel like you are either. And I know people that are like that. They just hate on every...
Right.
They always have a reason why something sucks. Like, there's never a word of positivity anywhere, right? It's like you just don't even want to talk to them about that.
And I've had friends like that who I basically just tapered off in my friendship. I was like,
it's hard to be around all the time.
Yeah, it's really draining. And I think that's maybe there's a level of kind of granularity of people that can handle other people's criticisms. Like, say, for example, if you did it a lot and it doesn't bother me at all, but maybe like person C thinks it's way too much and you talk so much smack about something.
Yeah.
You know? But I think maybe it's like granularity, but I don't think that it should be all or nothing. Like things should be great. Don't say, like, you can't say anything. What is it? Don't say anything if you can't. Don't say anything. What is it?
If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Yeah.
That's.
I think that's true. As long if it's that's more in the spirit of being mean spirited, because we quickly got into a discussion about Steve Jobs.
Right. Yes. I mean, Steve Jobs is always kind of one of the quotes I really liked was he was talking about products, and he said it was important for us to ratchet up our species because I mean where we are is we're standing on the shoulders of a lot of different people that have made contributions to our culture, and why just make things that are just kind of like all right,
like mediocre,
and like status quo, and just kind of continue that. And there are definitely people out there that do that, or there's people that try to put lipstick on a pig and make you think that they're making something really great, which are arguably a lot of our damn Kickstarter things that we look at, you know? And I think that that's not good enough, you know? I just don't... And I feel like people sometimes will just dissect me saying something sucks rather than hearing the why, you know?
Yeah. I think it kind of definitely depends on the spirit of what you're saying and why you're saying it. But yeah, I mean... We both kind of felt this way. It's like, well, sometimes on this show we say things that are not uplifting, and we come away from the show kind of feeling kind of
crappy
because we just talked crap about something that genuinely really sucked a lot.
Yeah.
And it's fun to say, and we laugh about it. But ultimately, I think you and I kind of have the same viewpoint in that we want to see things that are good, and I think that we have a passion for things that are really well made, and I think a lot of Apple fans probably do, which is why they like Apple stuff.
Yeah.
And when you see something and it's clear to you that it was just kind of a half-assed effort, it's really, personally speaking, it's really difficult to not say something, especially when you see it gaining popularity.
Right.
And you see people saying, "Oh, this is awesome," and you can see it, and you're like, "This sucks." Like. Yeah. Why do people like this? Like, you're falling for the marketing,
right?
Or there's a gimmick about it that you're falling for.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine how Steve Jobs felt when Windows was taking off. He was probably like, "How do people like this? This is awful." You know?
Right.
And
especially because it had borrowed so much from
Apple.
Yeah,
and I mean, Steve Jobs famously was very outspoken about being critical, and people. Maybe that was okay because he was making great things. Do you think that you have to put your money where your mouth is, or do you think that you can just have an opinion and people can respect it?
I think that it helps to I think it helps to be a creator in some way. Okay. I think that's kind of what you're alluding to, right?
Yeah.
Because then you at least have the professional courtesy where you were like looking at someone else and you're like, okay, that thing really sucks, but maybe they are in the journey of building something that's better, and they actually care about it, and you know what it's like, and I know what it's like.
And maybe if I met him in person,
that definitely changes things, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, you're a total chud, and that thing that you have sucks, and you slap it out of their hand.
Yeah.
And you push them down.
I'm actually really nice in person.
And then you punch their mom.
Yeah.
No, but I just replayed a typical scenario in my lifetime. And I don't know, and I know how much effort it takes to put into something. I mean, let's take a cult cast, for example. Yours is probably a pillow. It's like you kind of envision what it's going to be like, and then you go to make it, and then you end up creating a product, and you either like the product or you see everything that's wrong with it, and you're like, we need to make this better in all these different ways, and it really sucks, and we have to improve it.
Yeah.
But at least you care to make it better, whereas some people just kind of like release stuff into the market. And they're just like trying to make a buck. Right.
Yeah. I mean, look at Apple. They're always reiterating and then trashing something that's perfectly awesome,
like the Mac Pro,
and then throwing it out the window and starting all over. I mean, my grandma's always saying there's always room for improvement. She loves telling me that because she feels like there's always room for improvement. What you're doing is great. But remember that you can keep doing better and improving.
And just keep refining.
Yeah.
Keep refining.
And I think it's completely true. I mean, I've taken a lot of steps. Like, I can look back from when I started to now, and now I'm at the best that I've done, but I know I can get better.
But you still know there's all these things that you want to change, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing to note. But yeah, I guess it helps to be a creator, but I don't think that I should say... I think that somebody that's a movie critic can criticize movies without having to make movies, right?
I totally agree. Yeah. I don't think you necessarily need to be in the industry doing the exact same thing to have a sense of quality,
right?
And to understand like what good quality is.
Right.
In fact, a critic might understand more than the actual filmmaker, right? Because
Right.
they're watching all these different movies and they know what a good movie looks and feels like. Where someone who's just making them, sometimes you get sucked into what you're doing and you can't. It's such a weird thing. Like you're in it and you're making it and you can't separate yourself from it. But for someone else, it's so easy for them to see and to make a determination quickly on the quality of it. And you can't do it with your own work.
Right. And sometimes you can see that it was clearly just phoned in, right? That's when it gets aggravating and you feel kind of upset that they put something out there that was clearly not as good as it could have been. I don't know. That's I think we both share that sentiment, like that we want to be the ones that are able to tell people that things aren't as good as,
and we will,
something that we're supposed to all like. I think that's the other thing, is when things are supposed to be like everybody's supposed to love it.
It's like universally
and then
liked.
you're the last one in the building that's saying, well, I don't. And then everybody thinks you're an asshole. Like,
yeah,
I feel like I fall under that category too often.
Like pretty much all the time.
And I feel like
stuff.
I'm passionate about a lot of things, and I'm guilty of being like, oh, you don't like that thing I like, you suck. You know?
Yeah, I feel that way too.
I think that's one thing that if you're going to be critical, you have to also kind of put it on you as well, because otherwise you're going to always feel like you're in the right every time, you know? And that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing, to put it back on yourself, because you want to just voice your opinion and have someone hear you and then stop. Right?
That's good enough for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that some people just like to be cynical, and I don't think that I'm necessarily like that. But I think that during some of our segments, we come off like that.
Maybe.
But
and maybe we don't.
It's also to be funny,
Maybe
too.
people just think it's funny.
Yeah.
And they're like, because sometimes you guys are definitely guilty. You send us stuff just to hear us, like, just to bait us.
Yeah.
And to hear, like, one of us just say how we really feel about this piece of crap. And then we're like, what is this piece of crap?
It's like chumming the water.
Yeah, you guys are chummers for sure. Quit chumming our water.
Yeah.
You might get bit. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because we had a really fun conversation about that. And I think it comes down to, honestly, it really does come down to whether or not you care about something just being high quality or not. And then, making things that are actually worthwhile. And I think that you and I, since we're passionate about that, are easily hooked into a conversation about things when they're not that way. But hey, we're not going to just talk about things that are critical.
No.
We got some fun stuff, too.
Yeah, we got some fun
stuff. And, Roberto, you wanted to show me, actually...
something that's totally critical.
Something that's totally critical.
But it's funny, though.
But it's funny. And that's really what matters the most. Doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings as long as we have a laugh.
Okay.
So this is called worstroom.com.
Trying to not be critical is like trying to not say all the time.
A blog about trying to find affordable housing in New York City and elsewhere. That is a high-quality apartment. I think that most citizens would enjoy living in such a place.
This is in Hawaii, and it's an old school bus with a little towel on the curtain.
I love
$200.
I love that it's covered with. You can rent this.
All of them are for rent, dude.
Oh my god!
So we're looking at a tarp covering up half of
former
the bus.
meth lab. I love that it has like the Spanish influenced poncho covering the door, because that's totally what a hippie would wear.
$200, but it gets better. This tiny little closet space. This is the entire place to rent.
Only one very tiny room. 700 or 7 feet by 5 feet. So you can literally only lay in this if you fit in a queen size bed. That's $700 a month in Brooklyn. He just took a picture of his floor.
And it's like, only one left.
Only one in the city.
This one's
totally unique.
This one's creepy. Oh wait, no, we're not there yet. This tiny little place in Erie, Pennsylvania, $400.
Does it have the dimensions?
It looks like it only fits a couch.
Includes several free butt rapings.
This is our reality, people. On the coasts, we pay a lot of money for rent.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before the show. Oh my gosh.
This is again in Brooklyn. $850 for this very Breaking Bad basement.
A very unique basement opportunity. That's marketese right there.
That Walter White killed a guy in.
I hope you like getting rabies.
Definitely
free
bed
rabies
bugs.
shot.
Free bed bugs in there.
Free bed bugs included. Many mice friends for you to talk to in the late hours of the evening.
$850. Okay, so what was this? Oh, again in Brooklyn, $650.
These are all in New York. Oh, that's because this is about finding affordable housing in New York.
Brooklyn is like the hotbed right now for being cool.
Oh my gosh, dude! This next one.
Whoa! Is it really just that?
It's a closet the size of a twin bed with a twin bed in it.
Vancouver.
That's not even a twin bed.
That has to be connected to somebody's house. Then.
Den. It says den for rent.
Is that what it says? Yeah, right.
Nice location.
Winky face.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of depressing, even if it was in Japan. If
that was in Japan, I would get it.
This one outdoors. I don't know if this is for real.
That can't be real.
This is just $2,800.
The one from December 9th, Chelsea, Manhattan.
Okay, it's Chelsea, Manhattan. I've seen places in Seattle that are this small, but they're like $500, $400.
You've seen places in Seattle that are this small?
Yeah, in Chinatown. Tiny. One time I went to one, and it was just obscenely small. It was like half the size of your living room.
Wow.
And it had a shower on one side, and the other side was like a little kitchenette, and it had like a hot plate where you could cook. It was so
depressing.
Teeny tiny, yeah.
This is Hollywood Hills.
Oh my god,
that's $1,000 a month
for a garage.
You're literally in somebody's garage. Easy access.
Yeah.
Free garage door opener access.
That's funny.
This makes me. I have my cousin Saba was actually thinking about moving to New York. Yeah. I love New York. One of my favorite cities.
I heart New York.
But it's so expensive there. I don't understand how people afford it.
Dude, seriously.
What is this? Is that like a loft?
I was just looking at that, yeah. I don't know.
It looks like they just built a little, like, cubby space.
Yeah. There's a... Sorry for my camera refocusing, everybody. Oh, wait. Did it die? Oh, I think it stopped recording.
Oh, that's okay.
I might have to edit that later. Yeah. Is
this Chris Hardwick on Websuit, maybe?
This has been around for a little while, but I thought that it was kind of funny. Yeah. Man, finding apartments is always such a drag.
I know.
Trying to
Seattle,
find anything.
Rents are just going up like crazy right now.
Yeah. Rent
this is a hot place to live.
Yeah. But there was one, did you ever see that YouTube video? It was like, what was it? This lady that lived in this tiny place in New York City, like right by Central Park. But it was like ridiculously small.
Was it
probably
like closet?
Smaller than your bedroom?
Was it like that twin closet or that twin bed that we saw?
Here, let me see.
Some of these places actually don't look that bad. I'll be honest. This one comes with free beanbags.
How much? $800 a month to live in Manhattan.
Wow.
All right, let's see.
You know, you could just get away with this too. I mean, it's so overcrowded there, and there's so many people that you could just rent the crappiest place, and as long as it was like $500, you would get people to stay in it. Oh my gosh, look at this place. I'm actually impressed that some people would consider these places livable.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I don't think.
Like if I put like a beanbag in my bathtub and I'm like, you could sleep in it for $100 a night.
Even to save a lot of money, it just seems so crazy cramped.
It's not worth getting butt raped either.
Well,
gosh, dude.
I save a lot of money getting butt raped. Oh wait, okay, 90 square foot mini studio. This lady.
Wow.
Here, I'll show you.
Dude. Like, look at treehouse inside this place.
Okay, stop looking because I have to add that in. not going to add that one in.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, check it out.
I wanted to live in Manhattan, but I didn't want to take all my money. And I found this place through a friend, and it's a great location. It's right near Lincoln Center, Central Park. It's a great deal. Okay. Sure, there's some compromises, but
wow,
it's worth it. It's 90 square feet.
That's probably so
I'm
much
also a
smaller in
professional
person.
organizer, so organizing the space was a challenge.
I'm also
but one
clinically
I was
insane.
So when I first moved in,
I also
the woman
murder
who was here
people.
before
I mean
had
animals.
just furniture.
I mean people.
Barely. There was a strip of blank space down the center of the room, but I just got rid of everything, and I knew you had to go up when you organize in New York City, so that's what I did. And I wanted a space because this is where I write.
Wow.
This is where I do my art, my place to hang out and read.
Oh, how much did she pay for
No
that?
kitchen,
I don't know
but
yet.
I've created my own little kitchen, little fridge. So I have to food shop a few
So
times a week
claustrophobic
because
looking at
cannot
it.
hold that much stuff. But in New York City, most people store their laundry in their stoves anyway. So toaster
Wow.
oven that holds the bananas. Storage, as you know, it's so important for
I
New
want to see where
Yorkers.
she
So
sleeps.
there's a cabinet. Gotta have a hot pot. You know, I can make hard-boiled eggs. One of the
I
things
cry
did
myself to sleep at
was
night.
they were these sliding doors that
I'll be
for
dead
any
by New
apartment are hard
Year's.
to get into. I got rid of the doors.
It's on my calendar.
For the most part, we don't even wear half of what we own anyway, so I'm always
I'm so
kinda
organized.
seeing what I can get rid of. The bathroom is pretty
That's
big
my casket.
for, you know, you just gotta be
The
careful you don't
whole
hit your knee
place.
on the toilet. I think it's actually gotten bigger since I've been in the apartment.
Does she have a bathroom?
Yeah.
I've just gotten used to sitting, you know, sometimes you have to sit sideways, but it can be a little, you know, daunting getting out of
It's
the
like
tub,
$1,200 a
getting
month.
into the tub.
At first, it's a little weird crapping in your sink.
But you're
Now I don't mind it.
The first night I slept in the apartment, I had a panic attack. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is easy. And when I actually went up to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was
Smacked
the
your
ceiling,
head.
and I had a friend stay over because I thought I would fall out of the bed. When I woke up, there was the ceiling here and the wall on every side. And
Wow.
I wanted to get out quickly, and she was saying, relax, go slowly, because you're going to fall. And so then I had installed a handle on the side and a hook. And then after
Yay.
that night,
This is
I
actually
have not had another
way
panic attack, and I
cozier
love
than
it.
I was expecting.
At night, it's cozy. When you're up here at night and you just have the light on, it's the only light, and I've got my reading. And
It's kind of
I
like
used to have
sleeping
so many
on a
books, but I've
train, like
gotten
when you're in
rid of a lot
Europe,
of
like they have
books.
like
My
little train
sister
beds.
lives,
Yeah.
Walden Pond, so he stayed in a little space. Got to keep that one. Just to remind me that it's okay
Is that
to
good?
live in
Yeah.
a small space.
I think what happens is like, if you've lived in a larger space, then that is pretty much inconceivable to think of living there.
Inconceivable.
But
Yeah.
if you are like, if there's a teenager looking at that, they think that's awesome because they're living at home in their bedroom and they're thinking like, oh, there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so, like I have a fridge and I have a bathroom. That's so perfect.
Everything's like individual sized.
Yeah, because whenever I go on Tumblr, I see a lot of Tumblrs that will be like some tiny little, nicely designed house in the woods or something, and it's that small, and it gets reblogged a ton because kids think that's awesome. But like an adult probably wouldn't think that's awesome. You can't even have a person over in that
You're
place.
definitely not getting busy in that bed.
No, she gave up. She gave up.
I no longer get busy. There's just no space to get busy anymore.
They're like, we're leaving.
Yeah, wow. I think if I were just like living by myself and I didn't have a lot of money, I could get used to that. It's weird. You know, like when you travel for a long period of time, have you ever traveled for like a long time? Okay. It's weird because I've gone on trips for like 9 weeks, right? And when you leave home for that amount of time and you're traveling a lot, it's going from place to place to place, you have to travel really lightly. And at first it feels very foreign. You're always going to new places. And eventually you get used to it, and like the things that are in your bag and the kind of like routines that you develop every day become like your sense of home. And you can go to a place like this and sleep there, and you don't feel out of place because you have like your backpack and the things that you know that you like in your backpack and those little routines that you've developed. And you kind of get comfortable with just living wherever you are. And that must be the place that she kind of got to.
Well, when I was little, we would stay at all sorts of different places. Sometimes we would go to like Mexico and stay in like a really weird hostel.
This is like a 5-star hotel room in Mexico, right?
No.
Guadalajara.
Have you been to Mexico?
Not in a long time.
Oh, okay.
And the places I stayed were very nice.
I was gonna say there's really nice hotels.
They were really nice. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I know what it's like to not live, but stay in really simple places. Like when I went to New York last time, we stayed at a hostel, and so I don't mind that kind of like situation, but I couldn't live in one. I don't think I could live in one because I like to pace sometimes. I like to like get on my feet.
You pace around your apartment?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really, when you're thinking?
Yeah, when I'm thinking or when I'm talking on the phone. So I don't think I could stay in something that tiny. I couldn't even go like that. You just hit your hands.
That is really funny. That's like not even bigger than a jail cell. Although it would be fun to poop in your sink, so that's a plus.
She now just throws it from her bed.
Into the toilet?
Yeah.
Plop. Watch this, guys.
You want to see it? No.
No, I'm good. Never show that to me again. Hey, so let's wrap up with this.
Can you record this?
Yeah.
Where's
my phone?
It's out of commission.
I deleted all my music off my phone, and now I have all sorts of space.
Hey,
Mr. Yell Loudly. They really screwed me on that deal, I'll tell you. Where's my camera? There it is. So, Roberto was talking about this Google Graveyard.
Yeah. Their newest product.
Their new Google Graveyard. You're going to love it. And then they're going to close it.
Find cemeteries really easily.
Yeah, it's super helpful if you have lots of old people in your life. So, these are all the products that Google has killed off. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a lot of them. I had no idea how many there were. So, I'm going to record this.
Cool.
But maybe you could read through some of these. And the best part is like if you go into one of these graves and you click, you can drop a flower.
Yeah. All right, so let's go down the list here. Google Reader, iGoogle.
I remember iGoogle. I used to use that.
Google Labs, Google Wave.
I thought iGoogle or Google Labs was something that they used to create new products.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like people could see them. I don't remember some of these could have come out of it. But iGoogle was a homepage type of thing for all of your favorite things.
Yeah, it was like a web-based RSS reader.
Okay. And then I was one of the early Google Wave people that wanted to get on that.
I still do not to this day know what Google Wave did.
Yeah.
What was Google Wave for?
It was supposed to solve email or something.
It's kind of like a Yammer.
Kind
or
of.
Like a Facebook wall.
It kind of looked like a Facebook walls. That was gone. That's 2009 to 2012.
I'm dropping one for Google Video.
Google Video.
Remember when Google didn't own YouTube?
Yeah. Google Video was kind of a mess because it had paid for stuff in there.
Total mess.
Let's
Google
keep
Desktop.
going. Google Buzz. That was their Twitter attempt.
Oh, really?
You don't remember that?
I do not even remember that.
Drop a flower. Pour out some liquor.
I'm going to pour out some liquor for that one. Google Buzz. Hold on. Let's see if I can focus better on this. There we go. Picasa for Linux. Only like 10 nerds were mad about that.
Okay, let's go to the ones I've never heard of.
Okay.
So,
Google Notebook.
Never
heard of that.
I don't know what that is.
Google Aardvark.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Does anyone know who Google Aardvark is? Please tweet us.
That's gone.
Oh man, I used Aardvark all that 1 week when I tried it, and I never used it again.
Google Health.
Picnic was one that I thought that was still in effect. Wasn't that online video editing?
Photo editing, I thought.
I'm sorry, photo editing, yes.
Wasn't it the back end to Flickr for a little while? I feel like they had a photo, it like loaded up Picnic for...
That would not surprise me. I wonder what happened. Didn't they buy Picnic too?
I don't know.
That's the crazy part is how many of these companies, I wonder, were purchased and then just shuttered. Google Listen, no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is. Like, what's Google Mini?
What's Google Lively?
Yeah.
No idea.
You remember Frugal?
Is that gone?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to use that from time to time.
What was it?
It was just like a web search engine for things that you wanted to buy, and it would show you things, and like it would show you like the lowest price stuff.
They changed the name though, so it might not be in there.
Jaiku.
That was like Twitter. You don't remember that?
No
Leo
idea.
Laporte would pimp that. He's like, I'm not going on Twitter anymore. I'm going to use Jaiku. That lasted
Cool.
2007 to 2012.
App.net, like that alternative Twitter site.
And then, yes, I'm sure it's really fun.
That only technology people care
What
about.
the hell is Google Flu Vaccine Finder? Isn't that just Google?
yeah, exactly. Half of these are just Google, and when they figured that out, they're like, but you search for flu vaccines, and we just created a link. Knoll? Any ideas what that is? I'll drop one for that.
KNOL. No, I don't know what that is. And then, of course, they have a grave already dug for Google Glass.
Want to drop one on there? Dude, that's so true. That product is so DOA. The only people that care about it are just the nerdiest of nerds.
Do you think we're going to see a lot of hardware ventures from Google in the future after?
We might. I think
Glass?
Google Glass is going to be, it's like one of those experimental products that might parlay into something else. You know what I mean?
Do you think that will be a blow to them if that just crashes and burns? Do you think that they're going to be like not doing hardware for a long time?
Well, I think the Chromecast has done really well for them.
My brother bought me one.
Did he?
But I don't have it yet. He bought it for Christmas.
Oh, man, you're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
I love it. I think that Google Glass for them is an experiment, and they are learning about kind of what they're going to try to do next. And I think it's just a social experiment and a technology experiment to see if people will use this, how it can be used.
Yeah.
And everyone who buys it is a guinea pig, and that's fine. You know, like they get something cool in return.
It's so less cool than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. I mean, we thought that it was going to be this cool heads-up display, and it would help you like a virtual assistant. It doesn't seem to be capable of doing any of that stuff.
It doesn't really seem to be capable of very much.
It lets you record a very small amount of video. It lets you take photos that post to Google Plus.
Right.
And
the social graveyard.
You can Google search stuff.
Is that all you can do?
I think there might be a few, but those are like definitely the things that you see people using it for. Right?
Interesting.
It's not going to be. It's not. I don't think it's used contextually with where you are. Like if you're out walking down the street and it says, boom, oh, remember you have to mail that letter? There's a post box right down there. Like it doesn't do shit like that, you know?
No, not yet.
But that's the thing people were projecting for it to do.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Even when it was announced as a product, there was actual articles saying, imagine all the stuff. And I'm like, well, why are we saying this stuff? Because they didn't announce any of that crap.
I honestly think that's one of the reasons Google's just putting this out there is to see maybe what people can come up with to do with it. Because maybe they're like, this is a cool technology. We know that wearable tech is becoming more and more popular. And a heads-up display on a person, it sounds cool, right? I mean, if they could integrate it into your glasses, and you could integrate with your iPhone or your Android device, whatever, you know, with your glasses on, that actually might be cool.
Did you ever see the Futurama where it was the iPhone and it was a contact lens they stick in their eye? And they always see a screen in the front of their face all the time.
Like totally distracted them from real life.
It also reminds me of, you remember Batman Forever with like the box? And then it would make like the TV 3D and everybody would just be like zonked out looking at the TV. Kind of reminds me of that.
I wish I remembered that. You know, the one product they got rid of that I actually really loved was it like Google Information or something? And you would call it and they could give you...
Oh, Google 411?
Google 411, yeah, that's what they called it. And it would always say, sponsored by bandwidth.com.
But that's totally dead now because no one dials for services anymore.
I know. Information is kind of or dialing information is kind of a thing of the past, right?
Yeah.
And they would charge you like $2.
Would it?
Oh, well, Google wouldn't. That was the big deal. Is like when you called information on your phone.
It was free for the Google one.
Yeah, and Google gave it to you for free.
What about Google Goggles? Is that still there?
Remember the goggles?
That? Google Goggles.
It's not on here. Maybe it's still going.
Was like, what was that again? It was something for your phone, and if you held it up to something, like let's say I'm pointing it at your Frank Sinatra thing, it should say Frank Sinatra was born in blah blah blah.
Interesting.
But I don't know if that ever really took off.
It's still a thing. It's an app for Android.
Oh.
So apparently, and it's got 150,000 reviews.
But see, like that would be the killer. I don't know about killer app, but that would be a good app for Google Glass.
That
right?
would be very
because
cool,
right,
yeah.
like that's the thing that people would project. They would be saying, I would walk into a cocktail party and I would look over at that guy and I knew who he was, but I didn't know what his name was, and it would pop up his.
That would be useful.
His oh, that's John. You met him at blah blah blah.
And here's kids' names.
Right. Yeah.
Or if you were like in a store and you picked up a product and it immediately showed you the prices online
Right.
of that thing and what its reviews were.
Right. Yeah.
That would actually be cool. I'm buying Google Glass. I want to get the full-on Oculus Rift. You know that like panoramic 3D or I don't know if it is 3D or not. That's like virtual reality display
3D, yeah.
that fits over your whole face. I'm just gonna be walking around like this with no depth
Just
perception.
a camera pointed outwards.
Yeah.
I think that we saw it in person at E3 or not E3. What is it called? PAX.
We saw it at PAX, but I couldn't actually put it on.
Right. It's just really funny because it's like people with this black thing on their face and they're just like zonked out. Like it's like the Apex. Remember the Samsung Apex?
Oh,
Should we show that?
Yeah, sure. Where is it?
But you have
Sam's
to.
like the Sam's. It said Sam's suck. I didn't even mean to say
We'll
that.
wrap
Sam's
with this.
Apex.
We'll wrap with this. The guy, that's the face.
Yeah. Just his face reminds me of this video.
We don't have to watch it all. Maybe like half of it.
Where is it? Is the video right here?
Probably, yeah.
We didn't play any of this in our other
Just
video.
click on the. Oh wait, no. I guess it's the same length. So.
Not safe for work. Just warning you now. Not safe for work
Kids.
or kids.
Leave. For real.
Okay.
Turn it up. Oh, what happened?
Where the hell's my sound?
Go back. What happened? Maybe it got flagged for the sound. Go to the onion. It's an onion thing, so there it is.
Where is it?
Okay, here we go. I hope.
Dude, what the heck? Oh, it's not playing yet.
Come on, video.
Come on, video.
Come on. Jeez. What's wrong?
Dude.
Click ahead. Like, not a lot, but a little. What is wrong with your computer?
How does nothing work?
Here, I'll hold it because I don't want it to be like... Vamp.
So you know I'm really against?
What?
Weasels. They are so creepy looking.
Yeah.
Are you going to hold that for me? I just love that guy's...
It's being called the must-have tech gadget of the year. The Samsung Apex, which hits shelves today, streams video into your left eye, internet into your right eye, and sucks your dick all at the same time. Buzz has been building for the Apex. At a recent press event, Samsung promoted the device as the future of technology today.
In today's world, there's no reason to ever not be fully stimulated with Apex. You can constantly be watching movies, checking Facebook, having your penis sucked by a robotic mouth every second of the day.
Samsung spokesman Neil Werner is projecting the biggest sales in his company's history.
Are you kidding me? This thing does everything, plus it sucks your dick, right? And I know what you're thinking, and yes, ladies, there is a version for you that eats you out. Hanging up Apple, we beat you the punch on this one. Samsung's got you by the balls.
Werner is likewise unconcerned about consumer safety reports that have
Just very
sharing images less than an inch from one's eyes can cause motion sickness and even seizures.
Whenever something new comes out, people don't know what the hell to do with it. You know, some people are saying, but I don't need my dick mechanically sucked. Mark my words, you will get your dick sucked.
In spite of the almost $1,000 price tag, consumers are raving about the device.
For my career, I do need the internet and TV and my dick sucked all the time.
I already have a TV and a girlfriend and a laptop, but to have all those in one device would be really nice.
Even running that press about unsafe working conditions in the Apex factory
Alright.
will not dampen sales projections.
The guy's facial expression.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
the
part of that
best
video.
part of that video.
Alrighty, hey, so that's all we got for you guys this week. But you know what? You can always come hang out with us on social media of your choice.
Yeah.
We're on app.net. We're not. That's funny, though, that you thought that we were. We're on Twitter. I'm at Erfon, ERFON. Where are you?
I'm at Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos.
And, of course, you can always subscribe to the show if you're not. We would imagine that most of you guys are subscribed. Thank you. But if you're not, you could go to iTunes, search for User Friendly Show. We'll pop up going like this. And you can also do youtube.com/user-friendly show. We're also facebook.com/user-friendly show. And that might be every place.
Userfriendlyshow.com.
If you want to watch the videos there for some reason, you could do that. But just subscribe. I think that's it. I think I got everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We've enjoyed sitting with you guys here today. But it'll be another week until we get to see you guys again. But until then, don't be mean. Keep it friendly.
Namaste.